Hello and welcome to the Lit Society podcast, or the final one for the year. Actually, I forgot to do my pre-show warning. I'm going to warn these guys now. I've already tapped my feet. Please tell me if I'm tapping my feet. Then I listen to this podcast later and I'm just clapping and tapping my feet. It's really irritating.
Sometimes he stands on his head.
I do stand on my head. I'm just running around and stuff. So today we're not going to do... Actually, it might be surprised if you listen to the other ones. We've not actually planned anything because all of our other ones are so well planned, rigid and thought through and
formal,
so formal,
and
so
executed
formal.
with the utmost professionalism.
Okay, so today is just going to have a roundup of the year, and to help us along, we have two BULS members as well. We have Oscar and Scott.
Hello.
Hello.
That was Scott and then Oscar.
They messed that up.
It's not respective greetings. We apologise.
Oh, they could just be one BULS entity. Still be.
We've been with each other for so long now that we have simply formed one symbiote.
Yes. Well, they are fresh off the very successful performance of Weird Sisters, Terry Pratchett's Weird Sisters, which was Bud's kind of big production this year. It was really good. It was really good.
A fringe show, no less.
It was in the Brighton Fringe.
It was in the catalogue and everything.
Yeah. Our faces. Well, it wasn't our faces, it was a poster. But, you could feel our faces behind the poster. Yeah. We knew it was us.
Especially if you held the catalogue up to our faces. There they were.
Well, yeah, I hear it's got really good reviews, and also that you've won the Society of the Year as well, which is it's no small feat.
It was not. We realised the politics behind.
Well, now.
Oh, let's not have an official recording of what happened.
If you know us and you come and talk to us afterwards, we will, or at some point, we will tell you exactly what the politics were.
It turned my blood to steel. The ambition to win next year.
Yeah. Be prepared.
Strong.
If you don't know when you're listening to this, I'm currently the president, and Kitty is going to be the president next year.
El Presidente.
She's going to be taking over. It's going to be fabulous, but she's on a warpath.
Oh my God, yeah.
Is just really on a warpath for Form Sock, I think, is the one.
I'm going to take him out one by one.
So I hope you ain't studying pharmacy. You're in trouble.
I've got my in.
This might be my last podcast as well.
No.
Right now.
TK just keeps on saying he's leaving Brighton. He's not leaving Brighton.
TK's being a diva.
It's never going to happen.
I am, though.
You're not leaving Brighton.
No
you're
one
not
going to
kidnap me
until you're on that train.
Yeah. You don't know nothing. You're relying on, actually, to be fair, you're going to have to rely on Southern Rail to get you to London.
That's
true.
That
you may
That's
never
true.
get there.
I may still work right now. I may just get
safe.
stuck at Haywards Heath, for the rest of my life.
Or Three Bridges, that's another pleasant place.
Oh God, Three Bridges.
I think that's how people end up living there. I think that's what happened. It's like,
there was no actual Three Bridges.
They've all been on their way to Clapham Junction for decades.
they just started building.
Railway bus service that went horrifically wrong.
Do you think this is just people with war stories? They just look at the TV. It's like 5-minute delay on a train today. You think 5 minutes is bad? I've been here for 30 years. But yeah, I honestly don't know.
Well, I think we should ask Kitty what her big plans are. Given that the outgoing president is right here, I think you should impress him.
It's a really.
I think you should actually slam what I've done this year. It's terrible. What I'm going to do is make massive improvements.
I'm going to make mass improvements, but what you did wasn't terrible.
Oh, that's so political. That's really,
No, Kiefer came in as little Kiefer Holland and left as chief. It's a big reputation to live up to. But I'm just basically going to be rinsing out the social side. And it's going to be, we're kind of thinking about doing socials around massive events in the literary calendar.
Oh, I like it.
Yes, they might be themed, they might be not.
Keith Alice in Wonderland themed thing.
Potentially. There's definitely going to be an Oscar Wilde-esque of pure debauchery. I feel like I might tie that in.
You guys, there's going to be an Oscar
not a
Wilde
literary
party.
night.
Come to it.
There we go. There's the first thing in the calendar. Oscar Wilde party. What day is
Opium
that?
provided. I haven't actually decided yet.
Just for anyone who's listening,
But-
there's no opium provided.
There's no
That's not a
opium,
thing.
no.
It's a bring your own opium.
This isn't a literary
BYO.
night. This is an
BYO.
Bew.
Well
There we
done.
go. Bring your own opium. That's our
Yeah.
title. I think.
I think, yeah, that should be
You.
the title of this one.
Whoa.
But also, I want to make Keith's dream of the literary banquet a
Oh,
reality.
yeah, the literary banquet.
I actually already made arrangements in preparation for said banquet. It's going to be a thing. I've got a dress. It's
Is that your preparation? Is your
I have a
preparation
whole
buying
new
the dress?
presidential wardrobe.
It's just a range of power suits.
I want
or-
to be, I want to be the next Michelle Obama, but a better
You
one.
realise she's not
The
actually the president.
Yeah, but the kind of
Yeah. But,
the female presidents haven't been that sharp. Like dress-wise, Michelle Obama's on point.
I don't know. Margaret Thatcher. So what you like about her? Dressed very well.
For the 80s, yeah. Like I feel like I couldn't rock shoulder pads as hard as she did, or a bouffant.
I don't know. You could.
You
I just look at her.
Cruella
Look
de
forward to
Vil.
you coming back as just a Thatcher lookalike.
That's really the message I want to be pushing out.
The lady is not for turning pages.
That's going to be on my stationery.
But we should talk about the anthology launch as well that we had last night. I think like 3/5 of us are a little bit hungover. So
One
yeah.
of those 3/5 is a little bit hungover.
A little bit.
a
Yeah.
lot
A little
hungover.
bit.
I'm very.
But,
actually,
you know,
no, I'm
yeah.
getting better.
Lots of presidents have a drink problem, so it's fine.
Mine came out at the end of the year finally.
It's a common symptom of leaving office.
Yeah, this is great.
But yeah, it was a really lovely night. Kiefer did a poem for me that I almost had an emotion about.
Yeah.
Anima, you decided which emotion.
Yeah, it could have been anger. It was the second time we've heard it as well, to be
Yeah.
fair. But
It was just
In
one of
the
those nights where
atmosphere,
everything.
In the atmosphere.
Yeah.
it was very atmospheric.
Yeah. It was sad as well. It was kind of like, oh, it's been a good year. It's really nice.
Basically, it's actually TK's leaving party show.
It was actually
That's
TK's.
what the anthology launch really
It was actually Bye Bye TK, that was it.
Makes me feel so.
Isn't that what the anthology was called?
It was just a
Reflections
book,
on TK.
a book
Yeah.
of poems about TK leaving.
No, it was called Reflections, and it's available in the
in the
office.
in the SU at Falmouth.
Yes, in the SU at Falmouth is where you can buy it
Mm-hmm.
for.
You can buy it. It should be £4.50, but I reckon you could probably convince them it's actually £3.50 or something for that.
But you know what the organisational skills are like in Brighton University.
Yeah,
You
just
can definitely convince
just say
them.
give it to me for £3.50. They'll probably do that.
It's a very beautiful book. It's a very beautiful book.
Laurie,
Laurie,
cover.
yeah, Laurie's
beautiful,
cover.
Beautiful cover.
Laurie, who's not here at the moment. Oh, I'm being cleaned up. What the hell?
No, it is a credit to Laurie that, although she didn't finish second year, she got a wonderful product out there that has her all over it.
Yeah, I need to send her a coffee actually.
Yeah.
We said send her a coffee. I was like, oh, what the fuck are you going to send her a coffee? Like,
It was sad that she wasn't there. Actually, it felt like an absence.
they're really,
Yeah.
in all the open mic nights and everything, you makes you realise how vital some people are to certain societies, because when they're not there, you're like, where are you?
And it does. It changes the dynamic and how people interact. And
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Bless her. Hopefully she'll be back.
Who's the president for drama next year?
Ooh.
We haven't voted on it yet.
We have not had our AGM
Has anyone got
yet.
their,
We really should
eye
have
on
that
it?
soon.
Yes.
Really, we've only got we
Should.
really should, says the vice president. We really should have that soon.
well, who's going to be standing?
Who's going
Yeah, do
for
you know
it?
who wants it?
Well,
That information is not available.
this is a matter of national security.
I don't believe Rob will be going for a third term, is he?
No, I don't think so.
I reckon Rob would very much like to be events. And I think he'd do a very good job of it.
Which is what he stood for in first year, when he originally stood for a committee membership. He stood as events, and then was convinced to stand for president at the AGM last year.
We have a host of first years who took a while to warm up, but we keep getting very drunk, and one of them will sidle up to a committee member and say like, "You've really inspired me. Can I be you next year?" And we go, "Yes, please," because we are old and we don't want to do it.
Such a different. Like I remember my committee back when the society should have won an award.
We went to the Fringe, not under your watch, Mr. Mitchell.
No, I was convinced the Fringe was going to lose us money. And then Connor comes in at like the start of last year and goes, "Oh, it's really cheap to be in the Fringe." And I was like, "Oh." But yeah, last year it was a big thing of going up to people and telling them they had to run and like convincing people to run. And this year's been a lot of people very shyly telling us that they want to run.
That's quite
Well, next
sweet.
year you'll have like a full-out battle then for things. In that case, if that's the way the trend's going.
Maybe. We think there are things thinking about changing some parts of our constitution. Again, we didn't do a constitutional change last year. It's just a little bit of window dressing, just so that because tech is Flo this year did a wonderful job, but tech covers all manner of sins. It's very, very large. So we're thinking that some offices may like one or maybe two like lieutenant roles. So tech is elected and then tech appoints someone for LX and stage and someone else for costume and props to help them out. So there's still a single committee, but there's also like a subcommittee made of little helpers and people who are appointed.
We're slowly becoming like a federal state.
Yes.
I just so
Literally decided to feel
I know.
so small in comparison.
we used to have less because we don't have the big shows to put on. We have less like sort of, we have the editing team.
Yeah, we're just pure
Yes.
artists. We don't.
Oh,
That's fine. I'm a glorified money maker. It's okay. Boy, do I make money.
That is not true.
The Drama Society has not printed any money. I want to make that clear.
Scott and Oscar happened to be in the building because they helped me out on a script, which
yeah, a very very lovely script reading,
is
which we
going in the podcast.
just I might actually do that. I am very very tempted to do that, so I might do a version of that. Yeah. But
You
yeah,
may hear it. You may hear it.
you
It'd
may
be
now.
available
Yeah.
to find TK's like play on the podcast.
I think we
at
should
some
cover.
point.
I think we should cover all bases and just go silent for a second.
So, I was walking down the street one day, as you do, when you do that, and I saw this man, and he was really homeless. Like, not just homeless, but the proper kind of homeless.
I was homeless once.
Really?
Yeah. I had to sleep on my friend's sofa. When I went to the job centre to ask for help, I had a panic attack because I thought I was wearing the wrong kind of scarf.
What kind of scarf?
One of my dad's scarves.
Your dad has nice scarves.
He was in the Bullingdon Club. It was that kind of scarf.
But anyway, this man I met, saw, was like proper homeless.
Not like I was.
No. Proper homeless.
One time I was walking down the street.
In London?
No, in Delhi.
Oh. Continue. What?
It doesn't work if you know it was in Delhi ahead of time. Like, the story loses its punchline.
Like if you know a joke.
Yeah. No, because it wasn't funny. It was... Yeah. There was this woman, and she had this growth. Just this big growth on the side of her face.
Wow.
It was like she'd swallowed a...
Platypus?
No, I was going to say orange.
Oh. That's cool.
Anyway, the point was that she was breastfeeding this tiny baby just in the street with a growth. And it was beautiful. She was beautiful. Some things are universal, you know? I was like, God, how amazing is humanity? So when you say you walk past this homeless man,
Yeah.
you didn't think maybe you should help him?
Well, I buy the big issue sometimes.
Yeah, but you didn't think you should help him.
I thought about it.
But you didn't.
No.
Well, why?
You can't help everyone, and I buy the big issue sometimes.
I think that anyone who has the ability to walk past another human being in that sort of dire situation without opening their heart to them is fundamentally fucked up and unworthy of love and connection.
Oh,
No offence.
sure.
That's just my opinion.
It's kind of unfair, isn't it?
Why?
Well, because you can't help everyone.
No, but you could do more.
That's true. I could do more.
We could do more. All of us. We waste time and money on a lot of things that are stupid.
Does giving people money mean you're opening your heart?
It's a start.
Our hearts are full of money.
Our money is full of heart.
We can make a difference.
We are making a difference.
Yes, we're the people who buy theatre tickets.
Instead of funding the drug habits of the homeless.
Right, wait. What?
Huh?
What did you say?
Nothing.
The homeless don't all have drug habits.
No, not all of them.
Don't you think...
What?
Don't you think if you're homeless that you deserve to be stoned out of your mind or pissed out of your skull? Don't you think that people who spend their time wondering where their next meal is going to come from deserve some kind of...
I've been homeless. I have insight. I stole some strawberries.
Yeah, but you weren't proper homeless.
Right, I wasn't proper homeless, but I still have insights.
You understand.
I think that everyone's experience is different.
And you never walk past homeless people?
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No.
Yes. You just said that anyone who has the ability
No,
to walk past
no,
another
no,
person
that's
in that
not-
sort of dire
No,
situation
it's
without
not what I
opening their
said.
wallets then is unworthy
What
of love
I
and
said
belonging.
was, okay, yeah, okay, I did
So
say
what you
that,
mean
but I
is
didn't.
that you don't think you deserve love and connection? Well,
Well, yes. Actually, yes.
we should talk about something else
Why?
because it makes me sad talking about homelessness.
It makes you uncomfortable.
It makes me...
It's academic. There's nothing you can do about it. So why make ourselves sad?
Right.
Other than the fact that we don't deserve to be happy.
I think that we do.
Why?
We're human.
Is that enough? Hitler was human.
We're most of us not Hitler.
That's true. We're most of us not responsible for the slaughter, enslavement and dehumanization of our fellow man in colossal numbers.
Yes.
Is that Forrest Whitaker? I thought he was older than that.
That's a 19-year-old rebel fighter from the DRC. His entire family is dead and he's been part of a gang rape.
Oh.
Turn it off?
Yep. Say, when you were a kid, did you ever do that thing in the car when it's all raining and you follow the little drops of rain on the window and watch as they all join up?
No.
Oh.
When you were a teenager, did you ever do that thing where you'd get in the bath and cry so hard that your body would be shaking uncontrollably and it would feel like you couldn't stop even when the water slopped over the side? And then your mum told you to be careful in the bath because she was sick of mopping up the water?
Not really.
No.
I had a loofah.
That's good. It's good that you had those kinds of things.
They're helpful for exfoliating.
That's taking off dead skin, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't have a lot in common in stories about water, I mean.
And you've never been homeless.
That too. But I've been displaced.
To where?
St Albans.
You've really been through some shit.
I moved with my dad after the divorce.
And your parents.
My parents.
That must have been difficult.
Well, it wasn't.
No?
I had bigger things on my plate back then.
Oh.
Well, I was 15.
School, right? GCSE, sexual tension, spots.
Pretty much. Also, my best friend kept trying to commit suicide and my girlfriend's eating disorder was making her hair fall out. And sometimes I felt so depressed that I see comments above regarding baths and wet linoleum.
Oh.
Mostly it was the GCSEs.
I guess it's good you went through that.
I don't know, I still haven't used trigonometry.
I meant the pain.
Oh yes, pain.
It forms you.
Makes me who I am.
Pain.
Yep.
Sam, can I ask you something for real?
Okay.
How are you?
Lonely.
How lonely? Is it bad?
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I'm as lonely as like Mandela in his jail cell. As lonely as that lost in the shopping centre feeling, where your body just aches for you to be touched or seen or really listened to. The kind of lonely where you start naming the crows that live in the tree in the garden after the scars on your wrist or the voices in your head. So lonely that you want to break open your own skull and dissolve into the Atlantic because then at least you'd be part of something. Sometimes I'm fine though. I can be fine for days at a time.
Oh no? Shit.
It hurts. A hurt that just stays in your body and won't go anywhere.
And then you make it part of yourself. You take it into your bones the way a dying man will drink.
Salt water.
The way you'd fill your stomach with sand just to stave off the hunger.
The way you take a right hook just to feel human touch.
The way the space in the chambers of your heart could encompass the space between the two farthest stars in the universe.
The way a martyr feels the flames like a kiss.
The way you could swallow a river full of salmon just to feel something move inside you.
Just to feel alive.
Just to feel.
Just to.
Yeah.
How good were those performances? They were great. They were just fantastic.
TK, that's your genius.
Well, it was all them. It was
You're
all that
two
they
guys.
did
Your
beautifully.
writing was really.
It was really.
Your
it
magnum
moved
opus.
us.
Thank
It was a
you.
vehicle.
But yeah, no, I went to see Weird Sisters and then went to the pub with Oscar and convinced him by way of giving him
So much
booze.
wine. And then Ditterono on top of that.
Yes, and
Dirty
made
tactics.
him read my words, basically. It sounds. I'm really trying to tell this whole story without putting an innuendo in there somewhere.
Oh,
and
he plied him
So
with
you
booze
said
and
made
then
him
do-
read my words.
Yeah, there's no way around that.
But they did a fantastic job, and I'm very, very grateful to them.
We cannot wait to read the rest of it, and very much want to read it.
Yes. But Weird Sisters was fantastic. Sorry, that was where I was meant to be going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then I realised I wasn't talking about me, which just doesn't work. But no, it was
So
such
TK,
a...
you were in the audience with us. What was that like?
You know, I mean, there was stuff going on stage. Really, the problem was that my seat was just like a little uncomfortable, and it was just...
Yeah.
No, but it was a really fantastic production. It was so funny. It was so funny. I was sitting, especially like, well, you, Scott, for a start, because Scott played the Am I doing
Usurper.
spoilers? Am I doing spoilers?
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, you're spoiling the start of the play, so it's hardly
Yes.
a spoiler.
Scott plays the usurping king with very well.
Thank you very much.
He's sort of, how would you describe him? I think if John Cleese had a baby with like Ross Noble or something, I think that's probably the
I would pay good money to see that baby, to see it grow. Like on the Truman Show, I would pay so
Just
much
sat next
money.
to it.
Oh, that's
it was
a weird thought.
absolutely fantastic. And then Oscar was just zipping around doing like all the roles
I was-
fantastically.
I started out saying I don't want to be in this one because the School of Humanities runs lots of really good extracurricular stuff with speakers from around the world flying in, and they always come in on a Tuesday or a Thursday, and we rehearse on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And I said, no, this time I'll stick to School of Humanities. I won't do drama stuff. I'll just produce it. And then 3 weeks later, I was 5 different roles, and I haven't been to an extracurricular lecture.
Is that why you stood for vice president?
That's why I stood for vice president. Yes, it's true.
No, but you were fantastic. So what were your 5 roles? The one I remember is, being one of the witches. I mean, partly because that you were in a dress and it gave me confused feelings.
I was in a dress. Not for the first time with Buds,
And not for the last time.
and not for the last time either.
I don't know what the confusion was.
It's just attraction. It was just
Yeah, he
animal
looked good in a
attraction.
dress.
Yeah.
No confusion.
He's always blushing. He's going red. I wish you could see.
No, stop me.
So you did that. You did the nasty
I was
guy.
horrible Oscar, which
Yeah.
is one of the not very nice guards, who ends up apprehending, and in the script it says he mauls Magrat being one of the witches, and I just have to, Sadie, who plays Magrat, and I are very good friends, and there's a point where I had to just say I apologise and just sort of just give her a big hug, but also go like
Sort of
"Rrrr,"
sexually
in a
aggressive.
very sexually aggressive sort of way.
It's a very raw energy for this play.
Yeah.
Get
There
all them
was-
primal instincts.
Yeah, exactly. But it was uncomfortable for both of us, really. But we got through it. It was fine.
Yes, you absolutely did.
And on the final night, because she was supposed to have a knife that I found, on the final night she didn't have her knife, but she did have a bag full of candles. So I draw out a candle and have to make out that this candle is particularly offensive to me in order to progress the plot. Because she's supposed to have a knife, and I go, oh, a knife, we have to take this very seriously, and then I try to apprehend her, and then I get,
Did you say a candle?
yes. I went,
A candle!
I have to take this very seriously, and luckily the audience went with it. So that
Well,
was
she's a
good.
witch, so
She
you
is
know,
a
a
witch.
candle.
Yeah.
Candles
Yeah.
can be
Could-
super offensive.
If I
Poison.
could,
Light a
have
candle and cast a
Blue.
spell on you.
exactly. If I could have done it again, I would have said, "Oh, a magic candle," but I panicked and just went, "A candle." But you know,
I'm
Yeah,
sure
the magic is
put it
insinuated.
together.
yeah.
Because earlier in the play they talk about needing magic for candles, and you talk for a bit about magic having been banned. I'm sure the audience.
Yeah.
People are very clever.
They are.
It
Yes.
was
Active
marvellous.
manipulation. We aim for Brecht's critical consciousness in
Yeah.
our Terry Pratchett plays.
We get somewhere
God.
around.
I feel like I want that on a t-shirt
We aim for Brecht's critical consciousness.
in our Terry Pratchett plays.
Terry
I'm gonna, yes, I'm. If you're listening and you have like a secret crush on me, can you please make me that t-shirt and send it to me, and I will hug you.
You're going to get 10 t-shirts now.
Yeah.
Say, I
All
aim
of
to
them.
bring Brecht's critical consciousness in Terry Pratchett plays.
But all of them anonymous to keep the secret.
With different,
It'll just be Kiefer.
Yeah,
It'll just be Kiefer 10 times.
to throw you off
Yeah.
the scent.
yeah, the sad thing is I do it in different fonts every time, so you'd think it was 10 different people.
Then you realise all the teachers from the same place.
Yeah. Just with
But-
my name sewn inside. All hot.
But who were the other roles you played?
Oh, good lord. There was another guard. Then there was
Oh, you're right, the guard
The
who.
guard at the very start.
the guard at the
Yeah.
very start. Then there was
Chamberlain.
the Chamberlain.
Lord Chamberlain.
The Lord Chamberlain.
Piers, you were right, by the way.
Yes.
About what?
It's just a line in the play where it
Oh, I
says,
see,
the
right,
Lord
okay.
Chamberlain would appear to be right, I say. And so I was making one of them funny metatextual jokes where you repeat a line from a play
Yeah,
in a
got
different
it.
context.
They've got it.
That's deep.
And then there was just a travelling player, and that was my little menagerie of actors
When you had the salt pork.
with the salt pork.
It was nice, the salt pork. I
Did
thought.
you eat the salt pork?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
You ate on stage. Like, I didn't. Like, it was. And
We-
managed to do your lines. Well, when I saw it anyway.
Audibly, yeah.
Yeah.
So we had in one scene, me and the woman playing my wife, a lovely woman called Nikki Contenta.
Who plays a very unlovely character. This
Yes.
Duchess / Queen
does it
that she
very well.
becomes.
She's fantastic. She did a fantastic
Who's a
job.
bitch. Not Nikki, the character.
The character, yeah.
Yes.
So there's one scene where we eat dinner, and Flo had bought like some Sainsbury's like snack chicken and
Mash.
mash that you're supposed to heat up in a microwave.
Oh, God.
So we had like this solid granular mash. And there's like chicken that had been sweating in this packet
Oh.
from Sainsbury's.
I don't think we refrigerated it.
It
at
wasn't
all.
refrigerated.
I think we just had the same chicken and mash for 3 nights. So by the end of it, it was it was just impenetrable. the
Yeah,
mash.
so when Rob and Connor first directed the play, they were like, Scott, we want you to eat like really enthusiastically, make it really disgusting. And so like through all the rehearsal, I was like, blah, 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 blah. And then by the time we got to the play, like looking at this chicken, I was like, I can't eat this enthusiastically. So
Well,
I
you've
had
got to
to
suffer
turn-
for your art, haven't you?
I had
You've
to
got to
turn
suffer
real
for your art.
disgust into acting disgust. Not only that, they wanted me to drink a load of wine. But obviously, I said I can't drink real wine, otherwise I will be drunk. Because there's a bit that scene happens, and then there was a big pause, and then I'm at the end of the play as well, so I can't come on at the end of the play drunk. Like, what are they doing in my play? So they had to use squash, which was not watered down.
No.
Oh.
Otherwise, it wouldn't look like wine. So I
Oh
was
my
drinking
God.
straight squash, and I drank about 4 or 5 cups a night
Of
Good
pure
God.
unconcentrated.
Oh, that
Oh,
would do something to your
of
insides.
concentrated squash.
Concentrate
Oh.
squash, yeah. You're lucky you didn't turn pink like
Yeah.
a Sunny D kid.
Yeah.
That would have been horrific.
So we've all been reminiscing before we did this about our schools and stuff. So we're in a we're
Yeah,
kind
it's a
of in
good thing for like
nostalgic.
the end of the year.
I think
Yeah.
everyone gets a lot at this time of year though. You think oh well it's I don't know it's are you not coming back at all next year?
I am here until September because I'm doing my dissertation. But I'm also, when I say here, I mean I'm
In a
pretty
hovering
much
mountain.
going to be in London and just sort of shuttling down for the odd tutorial here and there and to use the library every now and again.
And come to the open mic nights and
Yes,
compare the open mic
I'm not
nights.
comparing. Those days are over.
Ooh, Keith,
Someone else is going to. I believe
It's
you're
you,
going
isn't
to.
it?
You're going to do it, aren't you?
Yeah,
So
I'm
I've
doing
heard.
it. It's been
There we go.
fucking great.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely come down and see your first one, and
First one, I hope someone comes.
Not the rest of them.
see, well, you know, just make sure you're good enough.
I know, I'm a little bit scared.
Make sure you don't need to step in.
Oh, that'd be quite.
I'm definitely giving myself
Halfway
like a
through,
new, like,
this isn't good enough.
MC and just like, who's going to do my presenting for me? So it's going to be TK-less. It's going to seem weird having an open mic night with a different presenter.
Isn't it? But that presenter is going to be you.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I'm a complete maniac control freak, so I won't be... I'll be like running around with a clipboard.
Look forward to that.
Yes, the University of Brighton Literature Society open mic nights run by a complete maniac control freak.
Yep. I think the people are, yeah, and also my team is Alex and Callum, who I love them dearly, but both partial to a drink. And Alex is late for everything. So it's like,
Callum would be a good presenter, I think.
Callum would be great. You get slowly descend into...
Chaos.
Well, I went to a neighbourhood with him and he got on a chair and did a really epic speech after drinking a bucket of like mojito. Literally was like, he was standing, it was like a keg stall, they kind of turned a keg into a stall. And he was just standing there kind of like giving out this really good speech for just the entire big pub garden of a neighbourhood. Everyone's watching like, what the fuck is this guy? I was like,
Callum makes me so jealous. He is so funny.
He's
He
great.
has such amazing shirts. Actually, this is the problem. I now hang out with people who all dress really well, and I feel inferior.
You
Callum.
dress quite well.
You dress really
I
well.
wasn't-
I complimented your jacket butt this afternoon.
That's true. And
And you're
it
wearing
meant
nice
a lot
boots.
because you're someone whose clothes I admire much.
Not now. I'm in jeans, trainers, and a hoodie. But you know, I had to.
It's a good hoodie.
It is a
I've
really
had
good
I've had
hoodie.
it for yonks.
for anyone, for those who cannot see,
Don't you guys agree that his hoodie is
It
good,
is.
listeners?
Yeah, listeners.
it
it's a
does
beautiful
look
thing.
like...
Yes. Thank you, listeners.
Thank you so much.
You just be the voice of the listener for the rest of the
But it is
This
navy
is
blue.
shit.
Yellow squares, pink
Yeah.
circles,
Purpley bits.
purpley
overlaps.
smudgy bits.
Mm.
Kind
It
of
looks
Cartoon
like-
Network
feels-
logo on acid.
Yeah, it looks like an
It's
80s
not
video
I
game.
shouldn't talk about, but it's not a bad thing to wear when you're on acid.
As you've been told by friends who have seen you.
As I've been told.
As you're informed
Yes,
by
exactly.
reliable information.
Reliable sources.
So that's the thing I really liked about. Have you noticed Callum's getting better on stage as well?
Yes.
And like last night, were you there, did you stay for Callum's?
No, I
It's-
left
It
immediately.
was fucking intense. It was so good. He went on stage and basically just went, "Hi, this is a poem I wrote whilst on ketamine on the 25."
Oh, he's read that before though.
Yeah, I know he's read it before, but like it was
In front of
it was to
everyone,
people who like were in the anthology, had never been to our open mic nights before, and then he just went on stage like,
I
yeah.
got his balls the size of an ostrich egg, and they really are.
But the best thing about last night was that everyone was doing, because a bunch of people were graduating, so they were doing poems in front of their lecturers.
Oh, yeah,
that they
that's-
could finally do, things they could finally say.
There was so many times that people start, especially in Rosie, where she was like, "I'm so sorry, Kate."
Yeah,
but
she said, this is a poem about being too hungover to go into uni. And then just kind of this side-eye to the corner of the room where the lecturers were sitting to be like, yeah.
I loved a little bit of the
Kate was
three
pretty
poets
slosh
one.
though.
Was she? I
She,
didn't really
when
tell
I,
from
when
that
she came
much.
in, I saw her an anthology, she nearly fell off a chair. Like,
I'm sure that was just enthusiasm.
It's going to be the one point where we
I
like,
jest.
yeah. Sorry, Kate, if you're listening to this.
you're a lovely, wonderful human.
I'm
being.
not sorry because I didn't say anything I shouldn't. Also, she offered me a PhD in theory, so that's nice.
And
She said,
you
well,
took it, right?
Well, she said I should do one. She didn't offer me one.
I don't think it's in her power to just give them out.
Yeah.
No, I
Afraid
know.
you're not
Really?
Kanye. What? Yeah, you can't just get PhDs.
Well, I reckon, yeah, maybe. Okay.
Maybe in 30 years when you're quite a famous poet.
If I bung her a couple of quid, maybe she'll just.
I'm not sure that's quite how.
Does any of you guys have an opinion on that though? About Kanye West just getting a
What?
Kanye West just, he got given a PhD by like Yale or a university in America. For not doing anything, just for being like really sick at his craft.
Universities give
Honorary-
out honorary PhDs all
Well,
the time.
this
Yeah.
university gives honorary
Oh, yeah.
PhDs. We gave an,
Yeah, but-
which I
He's
think
such a cock.
one of our honorary PhDs
Heard
we
it
gave
here
to
first.
Neil Bartlett, which I
Neil
think
West,
is
such a cock.
completely well deserved because he's just I'm scared that he's going to listen to this one day, but it doesn't matter because Neil Bartlett is one of my favorite writers, and I've met him like 3 times. At university, twice at university events. Once I recognised him on the train and ambushed him. And he's always completely gracious and giving and lovely. And I stand there like this jittering, like, thank you, Mr. Bartlett, sir, for being alive and all you do. And he's like, you know, you should be more confident. And I'm like, I am confident. It's just you. you terrify me.
He's your kryptonite.
He is absolutely my kryptonite. I turn into a gibbering mess.
But then also last year, the university gave an honorary doctorate to the woman that did PR for Tony Blair while he was invading Iraq, and then moved to BP to do their PR while they flooded the Gulf with oil.
Yes,
So.
that's true.
Yeah, so honorary doctorates aren't always a good thing.
No.
This seems like a way of spotting a bad person at the moment.
Apart from Neil.
Apart
I mean,
from
Mr. Bartlett. I mean, sir.
Sir Bartlett.
His Royal
So at least
Highness.
it wasn't,
That's
at least it was a disappointment meeting him. Because I was always thinking, if you meet someone you idolise and they're an absolute twat, you're
No,
just
that's
absolutely
true.
devastated.
It is wonderful. And I just turned into a
I
gibbering.
met Jo from S Club 7. She was a bitch.
No, I had one of my
Sorry, a
first
really bad
crushes was
childhood
on
memory.
Jo from S Club 7. And then that whole Big Brother thing happened. And
Yeah,
she was
she
kind
called
of
a
racist.
racist, just kind of left alone to be eaten by her dogs. That's the last I heard of her.
I remember when I met Richard Herring.
Who?
It was lovely.
Who's Richard Herring?
Richard Herring is a comedian. He was popular in the 90s. It's quite funny.
A funny man.
He's my favourite comedian.
And how was that?
I couldn't speak. I went up to her. All I could do was like, because he was selling his DVDs, and all I could sort of talk about. I'd spent like, me and Connor went to watch him, and every time there was like an interval and before and while we were queuing, we were talking about like what are we going to say, because like I've seen everything he's done and I've listened to every podcast he's ever made, and I'm and then I sort of went up to her. What can I buy for £10? I couldn't talk to him about anything other than like purchasing a DVD off of him. But he was very gracious.
Yes.
Last year, my family went to Green Man Festival, and Caitlin Moran was there as well. And I saw her once, and I went, oh, it's Caitlin Moran. Then I saw her twice, and I went, okay, if I see her again, I have to say hello at least. And then the third time I saw her, it was the final night, and I was walking back from the main tent as it just done its final thing, and she was packing her boot full of stuff for a taxi, and I was like, I can't talk to her now. But my girlfriend said, you said after 3 times, if you don't talk to her now, you never will. And I went, all right, I'll do it. And she's one of the nicest people I've ever met. She was just lovely. And then she gave us both a hug, and she smelled of apple shampoo. And it was just...
Well, you imagine Kenny was the people you definitely imagine to be lovely. Sassy, but lovely.
sassy but very lovely. And now I'm one of her Green Man friends.
She is like, literally, for any kind of, like, mother of a daughter, literally, it's like Caitlin around any kind of problem your kids have. It's like, I'll read this book, love. There you go. Yeast infection? There you go. Bad boyfriend? There you go. It's just like, Christ. She's a goddess.
I saw a poet. I went to a poetry gig by a poet called Andrea Gibson, who you should totally check out because she'll like heal all of your horrible angstiness. So go look at that. And afterwards, I was with a friend of mine standing in line, and she was doing like a meet and greet thing, and I just kind of went, "Thank you for, thank you, thanks," and we just. And but you could tell from her eyes that she totally understood what he said. It was we had a moment.
The worst thing is when you meet someone who you don't really give a fuck about, but you know they're famous. It happens to me. Happens to me at work quite a lot. Zoella came in, and I was like, "You're a twat. Like, I really dislike you."
Aww.
Oh, yeah, I forgot all the.
I have a
They're
friend-
all in Brighton, aren't they?
Poor
I
girl,
have a
she
friend
probably
who works
cried
in a
after that.
Oh, she's so annoying. She did a 10-minute video in GBK about a fucking haircut. It's like, and then all the little girls in GBK just like migrate like this table. And then we get people coming in like, where does Zoella sit? I saw her in the video, she was in here. Which table she was at? I'm like, that one. and then I saw the lady from the Great British Bake Off, who lives in Brighton.
Which one?
You know, the little blonde lady? She was really fit and everyone really liked her.
You saw Mel?
Yeah,
Oh my
she's
God.
really
It's Mel
nice.
Gedroyd living in Brighton.
Yeah, she's from Brighton.
I'm never leaving. Right, that's it.
But
That's it.
yeah, she came
Done.
to GBK
You
and
heard it first here.
had a conversation with her about chicken. and then I met loads of people. It was really weird. Like, it's this weekend where I saw Mel, and then I saw like 3 people off first dates. You know, like dating program on Channel 4.
No.
It's a really good show. It's hilarious. Check it out. But like, it's like 3 people, because it's in London. You get a lot of people from Brighton going on the show, and then like they all shut up, and I was just like, and they were so up their own asses after being on the show. The guy came in, sat like proper like bowled into the restaurant. And I was just like, I recognise you. You're a twat.
Give me the Zoella table.
Yes, you'd sit on the Zoella table, weirdly.
There is a clip of me on Brighton Beach somewhere being ambushed in a hidden camera show. The idea is that they got elderly people to play pranks on young people.
What happened?
So I was just sitting there reading, and this woman came up and said, "You've got something on your face," and just got out her handkerchief, licked it, and started rubbing my face. And I reacted in the most like British way ever. I was just like, "Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you." I couldn't tell, and I was like, "Oh God, her spit is getting all up in my face." And it was just, and then the producer came up and said, "Hey, that was a really lovely reaction. Yeah, would you?" And I signed the thing, and I thought, "Oh God, look what I was wearing." And I went home, and I'd eaten a sandwich before this. There was something on the other side of my face.
There was actually something on your face.
Yes, and she just like
she'd missed it.
What?
Or moved it.
What's that on?
I don't know. I can't remember what the name of the program. I never watched it.
Is it like a legit TV show? Is that like a uni
they
thing?
said it was on ITV2.
Oh, so it's not a legit TV show.
Oh, I love seeing my friends on TV. It'd be so exciting.
I have a friend who used to work in a candle shop, and he saw Cher.
Cher.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
My mate saw Emma Watson in Selfridges, and he was with his family. He saw Emma Watson like going down the escalators, because it's like kind of, and he like chased after her, like left his family, and then like followed her, like bumped into her, had like a conversation with her, and she said she was just like so polite and lovely. And then as he went down the escalator to his family and just screamed, "I love you, Emma Watson," and it just echoed around the whole of Selfridges. And he met his mum was like, "Is that you, Shan, about Emma Watson?" And he was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Get in the car."
We can never come back to that.
You've ruined us all.
Selfridges will never take us back.
Man.
I saw Emma Watson. This is my claim to fame when I was 11, because I got to go to the premiere of the Harry Potter film because my mum won tickets in like the first Harry Potter. So I guess I was like 9 or 11. But we got to go and we got to stand in the queue outside and wave. And Emma Watson waved specifically at me. Like there was eye contact and she paused mid-step. That happened. I don't care what anyone else
Are you saying
says.
you had a moment with Emma Watson?
I had little moment.
Looks like she had a profound moment as well.
yeah.
Like she paused mid-step.
Yeah.
Emma Watson. Well, she was like 11 at the time, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She might like some of that.
Oh, bloody hell.
Oh dear. Let's just went down a whole different path.
Maybe she just knew
11-year-olds
you
have
would be
feelings
important later in life. She saw you and went, I must remember this face.
That face I will remember.
Kindred soul.
And then went like in a few years when she's like reading one of your scripts. She's like, I know you. I know
In
IFC, I
40
remember you.
years,
Yeah.
you'll be giving a talk at the UN. And she'll walk past and your eyes are locked and she'll stop mid-step and wave.
It'll be beautiful. And after that, we'll get married and have babies. What? No. I shouldn't say that.
Well, that's the thing though. You told me you had a moment with Emma Watson. You've not done a poem to. You do poems to women that you admire.
Yeah.
Is there going to be an Emma Watson poem?
You know, I don't think so, because I tend to do poems to my surrogate mother figures. I have this whole thing about. I have mother issues,
the
basically.
comment,
complex.
all your poems about your mother.
Yeah.
Break the mold.
Yeah.
Because I was
Emma Watson
thinking
deserves love
about
too.
this the other night, and I was like, I think a big part of why I am a writery person is that my mother could have been a really great artist and wasn't, because life happened, basically. So I kind of that's my motivator as well. She made me. gotta do something with that.
Yeah.
And hoping,
It's very sweet.
praying that some of the talent has been passed on.
It seems to have.
Mm-hmm.
Aww. Everyone's really nice to me these days.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
What's your show on Thursday?
Oh yes.
Just in case.
Just
I'll never get this online before Thursday, but just in case.
Just
it
in
is
case
online
you do,
before.
I am a featured local poet at Hammer and Tongue at the Comedia
Oh.
on this Thursday, which is Thursday the 4th of June. And it is at 7:30. I don't know how much tickets are because I'm getting in free.
I'm gonna sneak in back through GBK.
But yeah, if this is before
Anybody
that,
else wants
please
that
come.
entry?
And if it's after that, I totally was a featured local poet on Hammer and Tongue.
Ha. That's good. That means you've been recognised as one of the best poets in Brighton at the moment. That is it, isn't it?
That's an achievement.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Let's go with that.
Let's go with that.
And I think on that positive note, it's been a good year.
I think we
It's
all
been
have
a-
massive
It's been a fabulous
achievements.
year.
Kiefer
Yeah.
has put out a fantastic anthology.
Keith has killed it.
yeah.
Chief Keith forever.
Absolutely. He's going to be a tough act to follow, but Kitty has won that.
I've got the Holy Trinity on my side, as
Yeah.
I made clear at the anthology last night.
The Holy Trinity. Is that you?
Snoop, Dre,
Oh yeah.
Anthony. You know it.
You guys have just done a fantastic show. Also, you did Weird Sisters, apart from my show. No, but no, it was an amazing thing.
Yay.
All right, okay. And enjoy your summer holidays if you are a student, and
Yeah.
we'll see you.
Good luck with
next
And
everything.
if you're a lecturer,
Results?
then enjoy all that marking you're
Yeah,
getting.
have
Do.
fun with that. We've done our bit. You do yours.
But be kind.
And as
Button
always,
them up, Keith.
yeah.
Button them up.
the title for this, and it's going to be, and I think we should go for it. Bring your own opium.